Hello, my name is Chris Becker, and this is my Trends Analysis Report for Franciscan University, EDU 723 for Dr. Charles Joyce. Recruiting and retaining teachers was an issue that was addressed in the 43rd Annual Phi Delta Kappa Gallup Poll. Research shows that nations that invest in improving the quality of teachers see a significant gain in student achievement. Though this seems like common sense, Americans have just started to see the importance of how teachers are recruited. The poll indicates that 76% of Americans think that high-achieving high school students should be recruited to become teachers. When asked if they would encourage the brightest person they know to enter the field of education, 74% of Americans agreed. There was a split decision when asked if high school and college students should enter careers as scientists or math and science teachers. Scientists scored at 47%, while math and science teachers scored at 48%. 70% of Americans believe that the ability to teach depends on natural talent as opposed to college training. 67% of Americans would like to see their own child pursue a career in the field of education. When asked if they feel the schools have a hard time recruiting good teachers, 52% of Americans agree. 71% of Americans trust and have confidence with the public school systems. And finally, 73% of Americans feel that teachers should have more flexibility in the classroom. Overall, the results of the poll indicate that Americans support teachers in the public school system. Recruiting high-achieving students in high school and college into the educational field is critical. These individuals are leading the way for future educators and productive citizens. Americans hold teachers at a high standard, comparing them to other respectable careers. This is evident in the results of the first two questions asked in the Gallup poll. They also show their support by expressing teachers should have more flexibility within the classroom to educate the students. I believe this information is putting greater pressure on the schools and teachers. With such high expectations from a high percentage of individuals, results are expected. Teachers are expected to go above and beyond and fix all problems for all students. Schools need to be aware of this and make sure they are recruiting the best teachers available. Secondly, retaining these teachers and continuing improvements is equally important. I believe the PA Cyber is affected in many of the same ways. It's critical to recruit teachers that have training and experience in the cyber setting. Expectations are set just as high in the online environment with its own set of challenges. I believe a big threat to PA Cyber is its constant challenge to live up to the demands of the public. Though the results of the poll indicate that 75% of Americans are confident in teachers and hold them at a high standard, many students that enroll in PA Cyber are unhappy with their current school. PA Cyber now needs to regain the trust of the parents from the public school system regardless of the schooling platform. PA Cyber needs to continue with the approach of improving in order to always provide the best possible service. I believe that there is a huge opportunity for PA Cyber to regain the trust of unhappy students and parents. Recruiting the best available candidates, providing the best service and technology, while producing results will help validate the option for school choice. Research has shown that students will be most successful when math and science skills are at a high level. This presents an opportunity to increase programs in these areas to recruit high-achieving individuals. PA Cyber is currently one of the largest cyber charter schools in the nation. A recommendation would be working with colleges and universities to develop effective training programs for online instruction. Though I believe there is much more time spent in the area of teaching certification programs than in the past to address cyber education, I do not believe it is enough. I don't believe that these individuals are prepared to enter the profession with such little training. PA Cyber would be able to provide the universities with specific expectations, software, strategies, and technology that would be useful for new teachers entering the cyber setting directly upon graduation. In Learning Session 6 of Contemporary Issues, we learned that there's an increase in expectations and requirements in training programs for teacher certification. I feel there needs to be more of a focus on cyber environments and online education in teacher certification programs. Preparing students for the 21st century is a top priority in education in America today. During the President's 2011 State of the Union speech, this was the first topic addressed, which is symbolic to what's occurring in our country today. 74% of Americans feel that a GED program prepares students just as well as college or high school. The information gathered by the pool was scored out of a 5-point scale where participants answered according to which they agreed with the statement being asked. When asked if they think their child will graduate high school, a mean score of 4.8 was scored. Finding a good job after graduation was at 3.7, and a score of 3.8 indicated that teachers make school work relevant for the student. When asked if students are able to participate in activities that incorporate their strengths, a score of 3.6 was scored. A score of 4.4 indicated that the parents believe that the school is providing a safe environment for the students. A score of 4.1 represented the score that indicates teachers are praising the students within the classroom. Parents indicated that they praised their child at home with a score of 4.7. When asked if the school was preparing the children for a higher well-being, a score of 3.9 was scored. Building strong relationships scored 4.0. The lowest score in this section was 2.8 in regards to the school preparing the student with financial management opportunities. A score of 3.7 represented the issue of schools addressing ways to become a healthier individual. Encouraging involvement in the community scored at 3.8. Preparing students for the future is at the top of many lists when education is discussed. The fact that this was the first item on the President's State of the Union address, it's symbolic in the fact that this is a major area of focus in this country. I believe that technology is the driving force behind this change. Presently, we are educating students for a future that we have no idea what it's going to look like. Students will be employed in careers that do not exist at this time. I believe this is one reason that individuals feel that a GED program will sufficiently prepare them for their needs in the future. I feel that this trend is affecting PA Cyber and other cyber charter schools in general in a positive manner. By providing students with cutting-edge technology and preparing them to use this technology is a great way to prepare them for the future. Students are comfortable using technology much more than they have in the past. They are also interested in attending school in the cyber setting, which is increasing enrollment in cyber charter schools. I believe a threat to PA Cyber in this area would be remaining cutting edge and ahead of the curve. With such a large emphasis on preparing students for the 21st century being put on education nationwide, other schools are going to begin offering programs that are offered by PA Cyber and other cyber charter schools. Students will begin returning to their home districts to receive the same services provided at PA Cyber. That's why it is so important that PA Cyber remain ahead of the curve and provide the most up-to-date technology as well as meeting the needs of each individual student. Due to this trend, I believe there is great opportunity for PA Cyber in this area. PA Cyber offers many programs and cutting-edge technology addressing the needs of students in this area and is currently ahead of the curve. Again, that is why it is so important to remain on top to provide the best services available. With such a high percentage of Americans feeling a GED program will prepare their students for the future, there is an obvious focus on change in education occurring. This presents the opportunity for PA Cyber to create individualized education plans to meet the needs of each student. Education is no longer a one-size-fits-all environment. My recommendation is to work with parents to explain the importance of educating their child for the 21st century. Since parents have such an important role in their child's education at PA Cyber, parents need to be aware of the importance of how this and how PA Cyber will be addressing the needs of their child. Each student in the cyber setting should have a very individualized approach to their success. I believe that the cyber setting is a perfect fit for this type of learning and preparation. Personalized education is a trend that is being discussed on many levels. Though standards are important and should be used to guide learning, students need and want a more individualized approach to their education. Not only do the students want this, parents do as well. To maximize learning, educational experiences must be relevant to the individual student. The key is not to allow the standards to guide the curriculum. This change to a more personalized approach needs to also look at the manner in which students are assessed. Assessments need to focus more on the performance of the individual student. The development of individual talent needs to occur for all students. Preparing students for the future needs to address the student's specific areas of weakness to be able to achieve the outcome. With such a large emphasis placed on standardized tests, schools are feeling pressure to teach material that will increase these test scores. These scores impact so many aspects of the school, most particularly funding. By focusing on this, schools are not able to personalize education for individual students, but rather prepare them for the exam. This is especially affecting the non-essential subjects. Students are receiving an increased workload along with added pressure due to the testing. The funding of schools has not increased with these demands. This is making it difficult for schools to offer the same programs and meet the needs for preparing students for the test. The areas that are particularly being affected are the social sciences and arts. The emphasis is being placed in areas such as math and reading. Individualizing the education process is a core goal for PA Cyber when pertaining to student achievement. This does pose a threat to PA Cyber since the school is also responsible to meet specific benchmarks for the state assessments as well. This brings added pressure to PA Cyber because they need to meet larger numbers of benchmarks compared to other schools since the number of enrollment is much larger in PA Cyber. Again, I believe that this presents a great opportunity for PA Cyber and other cyber charter schools. Cyber schools seem to be able to provide a much more individualized program for the students who attend. The use of the most up-to-date technology is assisting with this delivery, and it can be achieved in a more cost-efficient manner. Currently, special education students participate in individualized educational planning, and this is followed through the implementation of an IEP. I believe that regular education is moving in this direction, and cyber charter schools are able to provide this more effectively than a traditional school setting. I would recommend that testing should become more performance-based to help prepare students for the future. We need to use learning communities to help build creativity and critical thinking skills. We do not want to teach for a test. The goal is to track growth for an individual student, which is much more personalized. Assessments need to include projects and portfolios to monitor this growth. As educators, we need to know what the students know and what they are able to actually do at any given time. We should not be testing what students are expected to know for a state standardized test.